Welcome back to 360 Recaps. Today we will be recapping Season 1 Episode 2 of The Extraordinary Attorney Woo, The Wedding Dress That Slipped Off. Our story begins at a beautiful wedding reception. The bride and groom do not appear to be happy, but are carrying on with the ceremony. The couple are walking down the aisle when suddenly the bride is distracted by something in the crowd and becomes disoriented. She steps on her wedding dress and it is revealed that she has a tattoo on her back. The groom desperately tries to cover her, but her dress comes off nonetheless. The crowd freezes and gasps at what they see. It is a Buddhist tattoo. Our perspective changes to Gwangho's sushi restaurant where he and Young-woo are having breakfast. He is watching a wedding take place on television and wishes someday to walk Young-woo down the aisle. Young-woo then starts speaking about whales, but stops herself saying that she will only talk about whales if someone is interested. Her father is confused. She says that she has met someone who is actually interested in hearing about them and her father inquires about who it is. Young-woo then changes the subject and says that she must go to work. A man in a limousine arrives at the law firm's building. He meets with Han Seon-young and Myung-suk. He is Kim Jong-gu, the father of the bride at the infamous wedding. He demands that the wedding venue, owned by the groom's family, pay him restitution. The Hanbada attorneys believe that a fair settlement is between 250 and 300 million won, but Jong-gu will accept nothing less than 1 billion won. He states that his typical law firm, Tae-san, said that anything over 300 million won would not hold up in court. In an attempt to gain Kim Jong-gu as a client from their rival firm, Han Seon-young promises him 1 billion won. However, Myung-suk looks nervous. The Hanbada legal team comes together to figure out how to recover 1 billion in damages for Kim Jong-gu. They realize that it will be a challenge, so decide to break into teams to investigate. Min-woo and Se-yeon are assigned to go to the hotel while Young-woo and Jun-ho are to go to interview the wedding couple. Se-yeon, however, requests to work with Jun-ho, because she has a crush on him. But Young-woo bluntly says that she likes spending time with Jun-ho because they have a lot in common, which makes Se-yeon jealous. In the next scene we see Min-woo and Young-woo interviewing the bride, Hwa-young. She is staying with parents and has not left her room due to being embarrassed. Min asks her about the fitting for her dress. She tells him that it felt too loose the day of the wedding, but the seamstress said that she had lost weight and that they could use pins. Young-woo then bluntly asks if she loves her husband, pointing out that the only pictures of him are on the floor and her wedding ring is no longer on her finger. There is something she is not telling them. As the pair are leaving, Min-woo says that the woman has probably never cooked a meal for herself, leaving Young-woo puzzled as her father cooks all of her meals for her. Min explains that an adult should be independent and cook all of their own meals. The pair then go to see the groom, Jin-uk. The groom would rather not go to trial as it reflects poorly on his family, but his father-in-law insists on suing the hotel. He says his grandfather was the one that introduced them to each other and was very excited about their marriage. He is a very religious Christian, and met Hwa-young in church, but was very disappointed by the Buddhist tattoo on her back. Jin-uk has not spoken to Hwa-young since the ceremony. They've been arguing and she has started seeing a therapist due to the incident. When the lawyers ask if he wants to get the marriage annulled, he says he will leave the decision up to his parents. We then see Soo-yeon and Jun-ho driving together to investigate the Daehyun Hotel. They are having a playfully awkward conversation about what pet names they should call each other when pretending to be an engaged couple. During their conversation Young-woo calls and starts asking questions about whales. Soo-yeon scolds Young-woo, but Jun-ho says that it's okay and that they can talk later. We find out that Young-woo often goes out of her way to speak to Jun-ho about whales and that he is very patient with her. Soo-yeon suggests that he set some boundaries, because he may not always be as understanding. Just then, we hear Soo-yeon's stomach growling. Jun-ho drives faster so that she can rush to the toilet as fast as she can. However, she doesn't make it. After some time Young-woo shows up with a bag of new clothes for Soo-yeon. Young-woo mistakenly brings pajama pants, meaning that Soo-yeon will not be able to go undercover and that Young-woo must go in her place. Jun-ho and Young-woo sit with the wedding consultant from the Daehyun Hotel. Young-woo blurts out that they must get married quickly because she is pregnant. The consultant gives them a choice of dresses and Young-woo chooses the dress that Hwa-young wore. The consultant is hesitant to give her that specific dress, but Young-woo insists. They ask if it is possible if the dress can slip off, but the consultant laughs and says that is impossible. Meanwhile, Soo-yeon is still in the hotel bathroom and overhears one of the hotel employees talking about another employee named Ju-hui who was fired due to the dress incident. She calls Jun-ho and tells him to question the woman holding the bag of bread. Jun-ho finds her and asks for Ju-hui's phone number, but let's take a break for a moment. Do you like mysteries and solving cases? Play an interactive true crime-inspired murder mystery game where you get to search the victim's room by clicking on items and watching scenes of her life. Based on a true story, solve the murder of this young woman.
Where am I? What happened? Who did this to me?
Just click on the link in the description to play this free game. Now back to the show. The assistant doesn't feel comfortable giving out that type of information. The consultant then walks in and asks Jun-ho to join them in the dressing room.